welcome to another episode of Sandman's Tackle Time. Tonight we're going to carry on the rig theme and I'm going to show you how to make yet another rig. Again, before I show you how to make this rig, I'm emphasising the point that this is for beginners. I know there's an absolute nation of yous out there make your own rigs, you know how to do it, this, that and the other. But there's also a lot of people out there that don't know how to make their own rigs. I can name dozens of people in our club that buy rigs off different angles, this, that and the other, and that's their business. But if anybody would like to have a go at making the rigs themselves, because for me that's what fishing's all about, then this is for you, basically. So tonight we're going to make a clip down distance rig. Last night you saw us do a 2-hook flapper. Tonight we'll do a clip down distance rig. First of all, before I show you how to do it, I'll quickly talk through the gear that we're going to use to make the rig. There's a wide variety of amnesia line there that I use for hook snuds and rig bodies. I'm a big fan of amnesia line. I think it's fantastic. It's brilliant stuff. Hence why there's so many spills. I really love this stuff. However, tonight, for the main rig body, we're not going to be using amnesia. We're going to be using this stuff here. That there, if you can see it, it's called a Blue Marlin. It's £70. Blue Marlin shock leader or rig body. Now the only place you can purchase this is from Mike at UK Hooks, which is a fantastic shop. Mail order, Isle of Wight. So if you want some Blue Marlin, that's the stuff. The knots that ties down, it's lovely subtle stuff. Really good stuff. I've used that for a while. Anyway, so that's that. So we're going to use a £70 rig body. We're going to use a £30 black amnesia hook stud. We're going to use the good old famous Sakuma Manta Extra. There's a box of them there. Size 4/0. And we'll make this into a PENNEL rig. And the hook behind that'll sit behind the 4/0 hook is a 3/0. There they are there, if you can see them better on that piece of paper. There they are there. What else we need for the rig? We will need, on the bottom of it tonight, we're going to use a breakaway imp. And all I've done there is I've attached a swivel onto it, if you'd like to look at it there. The reason I've put a swivel on is because sometimes when your lead goes out, it spins. Obviously the swivel would take that out. So that's why we use that. You can also use Gemini clips. There's one there with the bait clip on, if you would like. You could also use a fast link there, but this one hasn't got the bait clip on. So that's that. If you were to use that, for those that's never seen Sandman's Tackle Time before, I did briefly explain why I'm not a huge fan of Gemini clips. Now, again, if you've never seen Sandman's Tackle Time before, I'll quickly explain why I'm not a big fan of Gemini clips. If your gear was on, now there's a little short setup that I've just made, as you can see there. Say that was your £70 shock leader, sorry, rig body, there it is there, clipped on to your Gemini clip, and there's your weight on the bottom. You've cast it out, rattle, 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 you've got a lovely bite, you're standing there, boom, you hear into it, you're bringing it in, you're having the buzz of your life, the fish is on, great, everything's going tickety-boo. Then all of a sudden the tip just goes bam, boom, 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 boom. You're fast. Absolutely sick as a puff with piles. Simple as that. You let slack off, you're thinking you're caught in a rock, let the slack off, it'll be alright in a minute. You're giving it this, it's not going anywhere, you're wounded. What's one of the things that could have happened is, as you've brought your gear in, you've bumped into this fella, and that there is somebody else's gear that they've lost through no fault of their own. They've snapped off whatever's happened. And what's happened is, your gear's been coming up through the water like that. And if you look at that Gemini clip there, there's their gear, and it just goes into there. Clip. Now you look at that. You can let your slack line off as much as you want. That is not coming out of there. What's more to the point is that he's fast into a rock. You're going nowhere. Cut a long story short, you've lost all your gear, you've lost your fish, you're absolutely wounded, you're full of hell. How can you avoid that? these guys, fast links. There's your imps. There's nothing to get caught on. There's the fast links, nothing to get caught on. Nothing at all. So I'm a big fan of these. So anyway, you've heard us waffle on enough about them. I'll quickly talk to you about this one here that you can also do as well. If for some reason you get to a venue and you're fishing heavy ground and you're losing a lot of gear, you can simply with a fast link, whether it be the imp version or this fast link. That's a rotten bottom rig if you've never seen one of them before. Again, I know there's a lot of anglers out there that have seen rotten bottom rigs. You can get various versions of it. But this one, if you want to put it on, it just clips on. That's that. And you'll come along with your sinker, you clip it onto there. That's that. There you go. You're ready to go. Water hits the bead and that would drop off normally, but it's a small loop, so that didn't work well. But if it was a normal sinker, it would have. Anyway, but that's your rotten bottom rig, and that's how that would work. So let's get away with making this clip down distance rig. £70 Blue Marlin shock leader. Arm's length out and to your nose. It's just the way I've always done it, and it works for me. So you're there. Get your clips, discard that. You're now left with a length of, I don't know, it's about what, 2.5, 3 foot, something like that, if that. That's your rig, buddy. Get your imp. Here's a nice little nut I'm going to show you, if you've never seen this one before. Pull your tag end through by good 2.5, 3 inches, wrap round 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Back through the bottom. Make your loop, keep your tag end, wrap that round 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You end up there. Put some gob oil on it. Pull that tight. Look at the knot that's made there. Look at that, man. Now what's good about that is it comes out, if you can say that, it comes out the same way as it goes in. Bites in on itself. Very, very strong knot that. As I'm sure you've heard us see it many, many times before. Cut the tag end off. You end up with that. You then get your crimps. You want to put a crimp on. So you go crimp, bead, story of my life, can't find the hole. There's your bead, then your swivel. These swivels, I've got these from Andy Rutherford's. You wouldn't believe it, the breaking string, that's £120 breaking string for that little guy there. Absolutely amazing. Little bit pricey like, but you get what you pay for. Anyway, so we've gone through there, we've got that into there, then put another bead at the other side of that. And then you get another crimp to go over the other side of that. If you ever get any fat shock leader, as you can see here, I'm using £70 Blue Marlin, and you struggle to get your crimp over the end of it, cut your line on a 45-degree angle, so you've made like a bit of a point on it, and you'll find that they go over a lot easier. So there we go. You've got your imp, swivel, bead, crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp. You're finished there. Go to the other end of it, and you want a half decent swivel. Here we've got a size 1 crane swivel. Get that, and I'm going to repeat that knot that you've just seen us do. So you go through about 2.5, 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Through the bottom, pull that tight. 1, 2, 3. You get that to there. Now what I like to do here is get a thin piece of stainless steel, if you've got it handy. You can use pliers, anything. I'll pull it through like that, just so I can pull it tight. Again, a little bit of spit, pull that tight. Look at that. Absolutely solid, that. Fantastic knot, that. That knot there was shown to me by a lad called Gus McGee, who used to have Riggs Angler Supplies at the bottom of Church Street with a lad called Norman Cunn. Good angler, really nice lad. He showed me that knot and I've used it ever since. Anyway, so we're there. Grab your crimps and your beads and your swivel. I always let it drop maybe, I don't know what's that, 2 inches from the top of the swivel, something like that. Nip it with your thumb. Use some round nose pliers, don't use clippers because you'll end up cutting through the line. And I like to crimp it twice. 1, 2. Turn it round. Get the other crimp. Repeat the process. 1, 2. You end up with that. It's going nowhere. Nice, neat and tidy, very solid. So that there, believe it or not, is your rig body finished. You're now onto your hook snood. Pull a little bit off first. This bit you need to pay attention to because you need to get the length of this hook snood right. This is very important. Make sure you get these knots right. You don't want your knots failing on you, especially if you've got a fish on or anything like that. A good strong knot is what you want here. So we've got £30 black amnesia line here. I've put it through. Again, I'm just repeating that knot where I've used. 1, 2, 3, through the bottom. 1, 2, 3. There you go. A little bit of spit. I like to give that a wobble on the hook snuds. Make sure it's at home. Trim that off. And that there is absolutely going nowhere. I'll just give that another little tug with a pair of pliers to make sure. Right, this is the bit that's tricky. You've got to get this bit right. When I'm coming down, you want to cut your line at the top of the imp, just there. And that's to get the length right. Now, if you watch what I'm doing, I'll show you what I mean. So, get a hold of the swivel at the end and nip the snood and the rig body together. Pull them through you like that, as you can see is doing. Pull them through, and now you come to the other end. And what I do is, if you pull it through, you can see that come to there. I've now get my fingers and I'm roughly on par with where the breakaway imp starts. Cut your line there, like that. Now then, get your, if you don't have to make a pennel rig, but I'm just showing you how to make a pennel rig. You get your size 3/0, in this case the size 3/0, that's got a little bit of a bend in it, you can see it there. That's so it sits up the line better. That goes in like that. You get to there. Then you get the big fella, which in this case is a size 4/0 Sakuma Manta Extra. Put that through to there. Again, pull it through about 2.5, 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Through the bottom. There's your little loop as I showed you. 1, 2, 3. Put a little bit of oil on that. Pull that tight. Now, I like to get my pliers onto this bit. You need to know that this bit's done right. You really do. So you've got that there. That's solid. That's going nowhere. That. And there's that. Get your little tug end. Now, there's two things that you can do here. One, you can trim it right the way off, but I'm not a big fan of that. What you should do is trim it and leave a little bit of a tug end, if you can see there, of about 3mm, maybe 4mm, just like that. Now I'll explain why. You get it baiting, and that goes up there, so you've got your hook, and you're putting blacks, ragworm, a worm, any worm, and you're putting it up the shaft, so you put it up there, and you fed it right the way up there. That there will then act as an anchor. Any worm, that piece of amnesia there, I'll stab it into the side of the worm, and hold it in place. So it'll stop it. How many times have you brought your gear and you've had a worm that's collected at the bottom of the hook? That little tug end there will stop that. Anyway, if I've got my measurements right, like I've just showed you, I said cut the snood at the top of the fast link. If I've got my measurements right, when I put that onto the bait clip, there's the bait clip there if you'd like to come in and have a look. There's your bait clip. Now if I put that into there you go. Tell you what we'll do, just to make it a little bit easier, let's put a sinker on there. Right, that goes onto there. If I run that up, nice and comfy. Look at that. That is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So if you want to quickly come in, you've cast it out. That goes flying through the air. For those that's never seen these before, that hits the deck, it's already fell off. That would be wherever, if it was a grip or a plane, that would stay in situ and that would go and float away in the tide. So that's it. That there is a distance clip down rig, PENNEL. Ready to rock and roll. Absolutely fantastic. So that's the end of another Sandman's Tackle Time. I hope you enjoyed watching that. We're going to do a one on another rig, which is going to be a pulley rig. I've been asked to show people how to make a pulley rig, so that'll be the next Sandman's Tackle Time that we do. So you take care out there, make sure you are all safe, and I'll see you on the next episode of Sandman's Tackle Time. Take care, bye bye.